right. So let's talk about Best Supporting Actor. This is a fascinating category. So we've got Barkhad Abdi as sort of the wild card in this, from Captain Phillips as the pirate in Captain Phillips. Bradley Cooper from American Hustle, Michael Fassbender in 12 Years a Slave, Jonah Hill in Wolf of Wall Street, and Jared Leto in Dallas Buyers Club. I think the smart money here is on Leto because he did something so different from what you might expect him to do. Also, he hasn't really been in the public eye a lot lately, at least not as an actor. He's been more focusing on his music
and his movie making.
Yeah, that's true.
Directed the documentary.
Did a documentary.
So,
on the other hand, Michael Fassbender is unreal in 12 Years a Slave, and you cannot forget anything, a moment of him on screen in that film. Jonah Hill is really good in Wolf of Wall Street, one of the more memorable aspects of that film. And again, like what you said, Jason, with Jennifer Lawrence and Amy Adams, who was the lead, I don't know how they decided who would get nominated for actor and supporting, because I think you could have nominated Bradley Cooper as best actor. So I feel like there must have been sort of a, I'll put myself up for supporting and you can put yourself up for best actor and that sort of thing in this sort of thing. And Barkhad Abdi as sort of the wild card. I thought he was good. I don't think he has much of a chance against the rest of this field. His performance wasn't good enough to overcome the names he's against.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I saw 4 of these performances. It's, again, the one I think is a sure thing is what I didn't see, Jared Leto. The 4 performances were all fine to me. I wasn't knocked out. The one I would throw in there, and I'm blanking on his name, he played the father in The Spectacular Now, and he was the federal agent in Wolf of Wall Street. He was on Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. I know who you're
Kyle
talking
Chandler.
Thank you, Kyle Chandler.
Chandler,
If anyone saw The Spectacular Now, he plays the alcoholic father. And if you see, for Kyle Chandler, it was such a great role because you automatically like him.
Yeah, that's true.
And he plays that part.
He's coach.
and he plays that part, and it's like, I know this guy. He's so he wants to do the right thing, but he just can't help himself from doing the wrong thing. So for me, I would have thrown him in there for over any of these guys.
Yeah.
I really liked Dallas Buyers Club, but I didn't love Jared Leto's performance in it. And it seems to me this is one of those things where the role and what you had to do to get into it, the story of the role and what the role is more the reason for the nomination than the actual performance.
Yeah. For me, I think it's almost like Matthew McConaughey's performance made Jared Leto's performance better.
Yes.
Because Matthew McConaughey's reaction to what happens to that character is so moving.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with what Jared Leto did. It has more to do with what Matthew McConaughey did. And I liked Dallas Buyers Club a lot. It's probably one of my top 3 favorites of anything that's nominated. But I think I would agree with that. I would probably myself lean towards Fassbender. I loved what Jonah Hill did. I thought Wolf of Wall Street was way better. I just feel like Wolf of Wall Street came out at a bad year. If it had come out in a different year, it could have just swept everything.
Well,
but
that's what Scorsese thought too.
Yeah, it just came out in a bad year when literally everything overshadowed it. Like, you can't put up Wolf of Wall Street against 12 Years a Slave and then Wolf of Wall Street win anything. I don't see that happening. So I think for me, will win, should win. I think Jared Leto will win. I think I would go with Fassbender for should win.
I'd agree with that. I would, just because now that you said that about Matthew McConaughey's performance, just him reacting off of that as an actor, without McConaughey's just like reaction, and especially the initial reaction to like, don't come near me, I do not like who you are as a person, and then that relationship sort of expanding towards the end of the film. I think you're right. I think it really has to do with sort of what he was working with. Jonah Hill, every time you say his name, I smile because that movie would not be the same movie without Jonah Hill. Yeah. It is that performance is so ridiculous, and not in the typical like super bad or funny and like clever like Moneyball that he's obviously done well with. It's just such a he honestly out of every character in that movie, he was the most believable. But he's so over the top at the same time, and that makes my head hurt just thinking about it right now. Like, how is that even possible? He's such an out there character. But Fassbender, because in 12 Years a Slave, you're just so stuck on Cumberbatch. You're just like, oh yeah, he's that guy, and then nope, like he's gone, and then here's Michael Fassbender. You're like, interesting. What's going on here?
And I love that aspect of it because they set it up with a big name actor who's really exploding, and you're like, oh, all right, this is Cumberbatch's next big performance.
That's somewhat redeeming.
Yeah,
right.
You're like,
as a slave owner, right?
Yeah, this is,
and then let's pull that rug right out.
Yeah. I thought that was just a really, and that kind of goes along with actors working against other actors. I thought in this case, both Fassbender, and you gotta help me with the name.
Cumberbatch?
No.
Cumberbatch.
Geofor?
Yeah. They're equal. They really are. And together they're just like, you're just blown away by what's going on there. So I'll shut up now. Will win, Leto, should win, Fassbender.
Okay. Should win, write in Kyle Chandler, and will win, Leto.
Yeah.
I thought McConaughey could have been nominated for Mud.
He could have been nominated for Wolf of Wall Street too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That 7 minutes.
Should we all beat on our chest right now?
Yeah.
And I would also say I love Jake Gyllenhaal, who I've never liked before in a film, in Prisoners. I thought he was great in that film.
Yeah.
But will win. Unfortunately, Leto should win. I'll go with Jonah Hill.
He might. He could maybe go for an EGOT. Leto.
His band will never win a Grammy. I guarantee you.
I think you might not be right about that because the rock category in the Grammys is so all over the place.
That's true.
That they get that one popular
way
song
more open
again.
than this stuff is. Yeah, you're right.
And then he could easily go and take that to the stage. So you don't know.
There you go. A Place for Film is recorded at WFIU Studios in Bloomington, Indiana.